Hi, I'm Nyesha McCauley, and you're watching AccessTV.org.
Candid Conversations with Darrell Fitzgerald is a show where you will learn something new. It's a show for the courageous that wants to be engaged. A show where we discuss any issue that affects the lives of people. And a show where we take inventory of our lives decisions. Welcome to Candid Conversations with Darrell Fitzgerald.
Welcome to another episode of Candid Conversations with Darrell, the show where we go in depth, we never sugarcoat, and we ask the hard questions that our viewers want to hear. Today we have a very special topic, a very important topic, and it is communication. The power of effective communication in business and in art. And when I say effective communication in art, I mean communication that allows the audience to really connect with an artist and his artistry. And communication where there's a choice of words and language that allows the artist to connect with his audience. So that will be the topic for today. And we have a very special guest today. And sir, would you like to introduce yourself to our viewing audience?
Yes, I'm the Poet Amin. I'm out of New Britain, and I'm pleased to be here.
I'm very happy that you're here, Brother Amin. And since you are gifted in the realm of artistry and poetics, I'd like if you could share a poem with our audience.
Sure, this is called These Words. I have been making my way from up under the ground because I was once lost, but now I am found. Watching jealous people frown, but they aren't nothing but doghounds. Believing I'm a beginner or just another poetry sinner with their esoteric agenda. Controlling the outcomes of losers and winners, swallowing another man's seeds for dinner. Building a case by pleading with the lender, coming in disguise as in him for her, sacrificing animals for fur, looking through the eyes of a blur. While cold-hearted soldiers prepare to fight in holy wars, people with power secretly lust for more, taxing every item stocked in the store, that equal trillions now but billions before, never ever resting ashore. Until our almighty mother steps in with the help of our Father Lord, lost within this darkness is the final score. Torched by the source of wickedness for sure, but I still continue to climb through the levels of 9 planes in mine, feeling the power of the sunlight combined, not to mention those that were destroyed by design, slapped by a spiritual intelligence of a certain kind, that is clearly seen you being fed poison by this brain-controlling media for the purpose of killing you softly and unlawfully, traveling fast as lightning across the seas, with a potent infested man-made disease, being supported by an evil money tree that has been somewhat helping me rest within this big mess that was left, created by the god of death, born to mourn about life's test that has emerged with the recorded noise I heard delivered by the morning birds. So I'm asking everyone to please remember these words.
Wow, a very powerful, poignant poem there, Brother Amin. In your words, what would you say that poem is about?
This poem is about how words are so effective in the communication or how it's received upon the listeners or anyone receiving the message, how we act as individuals in society about whatever situation or topic that's going on within our own world or in society as a whole.
Well, you pick a lot of poignant words and hit upon a lot of different metaphors. And one reference in the poem, you talk about the evil money tree. You recall that line in the poem?
Yes.
You talking about the evil money tree that pretty much has helped you. You said that you have received something from that evil money tree.
I have.
In your words, what would you say effective communication in the arts is? What does it mean to be effective in communication in the arts?
Coming across clearly in your speech, pronunciation, and the way your delivery is to the audience or that individual, whoever you're communicating with. You know, the effective communication is us. You know, like what you put out, like our word is our bond in so many words.
Right. I think clarity is a really important adjective to consider in effective communication in the arts, because I think if you communicate in a very clear way, the audience is going to be more receptive, and you're able to transmit the information that you want to transmit, you know, in a more sort of like a direct way, direct fashion. I think by being clear too, or being true to words, you may even be able to evoke the type of emotion that you want the audience to feel from a piece of writing, or say if if I'm acting, or if I'm singing. Clarity is really, really important in being effective in communication in the arts. Are there any other adjectives that you think of that you would say would be important for effective communication in the arts? Maybe such like reality. I mean, what if I mention a word like reality to you? What role does reality play in effective communication in the arts?
Seeing things clearly, and I believe all my poems are based on reality. You know, like I can be speaking to another person or another poet, or they can be hearing me recite a poem that I feel is coming across clearly, but to some people that are closed-minded, or I don't really like to use the term blind, but just have a one-track vision. Like they'll say things like, well, I didn't understand some of the things you referred to in the poem and so forth, and how, you know, my reality isn't their truth, which I'll be open to. But the truth is the truth.
How do you evoke realness or reality in a poem or in a delivery, in terms of how does that transmit to the audience? How, like, real? I hear some people say, you know, they can tell when a poet is reading a poem, right? And they say, well, it sounds so real, you know, like almost like that person was in the moment, you know, really living that experience, or even be able to transmit that energy, that experience to another individual, other person. You know, they say, well, he really spoke from the heart. I could feel that brother's keeping it real, or that sister's keeping it real. I can really feel it. So how does a poet get across realness or reality when they're communicating?
Well, first we have to be in tune. We'd have to be in tune with self, and you know, like me and you spoke before about, you know, so many poets in the universe. It's not just one, and it's like the realness is, I believe, it's something you conceived with. You know, when you're born, like it's just a seed, you know, within that's planted to express realness and be real with yourself. Because, you know, that's what life is all about, man. I love to hear poets speak, and I can feel their spirit. Like there's nothing like it. Like, or, you know, it doesn't even have to really be, it doesn't have to be a poet, but a person in general. Like that realness come across, you know, in communication.
Right.
Like, it's powerful.
Have you ever seen a poet perform and you didn't feel the transmission? It's like you said, well, you know, I can't really relate to that. I can't really feel it. Have you ever had that experience before?
Not necessarily with a spoken word artist. You know, I have came across poets who their delivery wasn't like precisely clear, you know, but it was the communication was there. But like when I hear now, there's some rappers, a whole different story, that I can hear somebody sing a song and not feel it all the time. Like, it doesn't come across as realness. It's like they're acting, like they're putting on a show.
It seems kind of false.
Yeah.
You know, I think the words you use in your poem, these words, like I said, very powerful. And can you just read maybe just one section, just one section of the poem again for our viewing audience?
Okay. Feeling the power of the sunlight combined, not to mention those that were destroyed by design, slapped by a spiritual intelligence of a certain kind.
Wow, spiritual intelligence of a certain kind. And I want to get down to the meaning of that. Well, how would you describe that? Spiritual intelligence of a certain kind. Is that referencing anything in particular?
Yeah, well, it would be, you know, of a certain kind, can travel onto religions, or the universal individual that is seasoned. You know, so somebody coming into this light of confusion or darkness being slapped with, you know, this is how it is, this is what, and it's like it can take you off your feet, right, and have you, you know, standing upright and ready to you know, to just go all out and believe in something that, you know, that you didn't even do no research in or whatever. Like, you just, or some people can feel it in their heart, and, you know, and you feel it in your heart and you try to separate, you know, if it's real or not. I know this is real, and, you know, that's what that line was about. Combined, you know, with the sunlight.
It seems like a very you speak to a universal experience, or like almost like the possibilities of what any individual person could experience in this world, you know, and walking the earth and traveling the earth, and like the different things that we get bombarded with in our daily lives, you know, from what we see, what we experience. It seems like that poem is seems to be a very universal poem. If you had to think about meaning, the word meaning, and how meaning has something to do with the effectiveness of communication, like, do you feel like being able to accurately define things or understanding the real meanings of a word has a lot to do with the effectiveness of an artist's ability to communicate?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Yes. Okay. And I say that because there's nothing like knowing the meaning of you know, of the word. But at the same time, sometimes you can feel the meaning, and you can know the meaning by the way the artist, the poet, has put it in the sentence. Like it just makes sense, you know, without going into further research. But it's always good to research. If you got the time and the patience to research, do that too, because you can really feel it and see it more clearly.
Do you think a poet can write and without really truly understanding the meaning of a word or the meanings of a word?
Yes.
They can do it. Would it be an effective thing in expression to do that, not knowing the real meaning of a word? Let's say, if you don't know, okay, if I say fly, and you don't really know what it is to fly, or you don't know different alliterations and meanings for the word fly, you know, You think that poet is communicating communicating effectively if they don't understand all the different meanings of the word fly?
No.
No. Okay.
No.
I hear you.
No.
Yeah, I hear you.
But no, poetry travels so deep though. It's like poets still manage to. It will make sense to the poet, to the listener that knows, and if it doesn't make sense, then that's when that false imagery come in or whatever.
Right. Well, you see, brother Amin, time goes by really fast when you're having fun. The discussion went by really, really fast. But I want to thank you for being a guest on Candid Conversations with Darrell.
Thanks for having me.
Really appreciate your presence being here.
Right.
And just want to thank the viewing audience for tuning in again to Candid Conversations with Darrell. And you can watch this show on www.accesstv.org, Channel 3. You take care. You have a very good day.